Well, hello there and welcome. Thank you so much for joining us for Sophia, Our Beloved, a virtual reading, a new musical created by Joriah Kwamé. My name is Jeremy Koch and I'm the artistic director here at Farmers Alley Theater, and I'm so proud to be joined by the creator of that very piece, Mr. Joriah Kwamé.
Yes, I'm Joriah Kwamé and I wrote the music, book, and lyrics to Sophia, Our Beloved, and I'm so ecstatic that you guys are going to be checking out the world premiere virtual production.
Now, before we start the show, we wanted to say a few words. I want to let you know that Sophia, Our Beloved, a virtual reading is the very first inaugural event for a new series called the Farmers Alley Theater Creators Studio. The mission of the Creators Studio series is to find, cultivate, and develop new works. Now, we are especially passionate about artists with ties to Kalamazoo to help them grow their original plays and musicals. We look forward to fostering and developing the next generation of artists and arts makers to make sure that there's always exciting theatrical events now and in the years to come.
Sophia, Our Beloved is an intense musical drama with a lot of elements, and so we needed the help of a lot of very talented artists to bring it to life, including our amazing directors, Aricia Staton and Teresa Tomey. Thank you guys so much for working with us on this, as well as Todd Lewis, who edited together this production.
I also want to express my gratitude for the main sponsors of this event, the Kalamazoo Promise and Jeff K. Ross Financial Services, without whom we could not do these types of events. We also count on people like you. If you love artists like Joriah Kwamé, and if you love arts makers like Farmers Alley Theater, please consider making a donation. You can text the word GIVE to 269-230-0001, or go to farmersalleytheater.online/give, or just go to our main website, farmersalleytheater.com, for even more methods.
And we hope that you will share your support and tell us what you think on social media using the hashtag Sophia, Our Beloved.
Well, I think it's time to raise that virtual curtain, so sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
See ya.
Act 1, Scene 1, Mosby, Arkansas. In darkness we hear a voice.
Dear daughter, I hope one day you'll read this letter, and I hope you don't hate me when you do. I'm too young. I left New Orleans and came to the city with starry eyes and unrealistic dreams. Guess I let the blockbuster movies fool me into thinking that life is all glitz and glamour. I fell flat on my face, and I'm afraid I brought you into a mess that I can't clean up. It's not fair to you, baby girl. I need to go back home, and it breaks my heart, but I think it's best that I give you up. Maybe some Oliver Warbucks type will come take you away and give you a life of glitz and glamour. And you deserve that chance. Mama.
Lights up on Leigh, seated on a fully occupied Greyhound bus, passing through town after town. She opens a journal and writes,
Dear Mom, I've reread the note you left for me 1,000,000 times, and after 15 years, I can officially say that I don't hate you. Life floating between group homes was far from the glitz and the glamour that you imagined for me. No Warbucks ever showed up, and even if he had, I don't think I could have ever stopped wondering about you. I can't live with the curiosity. Figure I'll get on a bus, travel 1,000 miles from New York to New Orleans, and then just... We're not that different, huh? We both make bad travel plans. But I figured you tried to give me a second chance, so why don't I return the favor? My whole life I've wondered who I'm meant to be. I tried to find the answer in my heart. Confusing like the message that you left for me, 'cause I've been destined for dilemma from the start. An orphan seeking validation, you left me at a fire station 15 years ago, and now I have to know. If I look into your eyes, is there something I'll recognize, or are you just a stranger? This is a defining chapter, not even sure what I am after, but if this journey ends in a disaster, it'll be worth it. I need an answer, I think I deserve it. The road will be might take some time, but I can be patient. Straight in my spine, I'm hopeful adjacent. Maybe it'll finally make sense when I hear my origin story. When you see my face, I wonder if you'll know that I'm the little girl you left behind. I used to imagine you, I'd let that go. I just couldn't choose a picture in my mind. So many things to say to you, some sweet but still some angry too. I'm sure you can imagine I've had time to think. What comes next, I have no clue. I didn't fully think that through. I kinda like the danger, and the road may be long, but I'm gonna find you. My path made me strong. I follow behind you 'cause I'm ready to know my origin story. Each mile I travel is a pound that's lifted off my chest, and fate whispers follow through. This journey almost feels predestined. The stakes are high, so what? I find fear shrinks when you address it. I'm prepared.
Attention passengers, I regret to inform you that the bus is broken down indefinitely. I'm gonna need everyone to exit the vehicle, please.
Where are we?
Mosby, Arkansas.
When do you think the bus will be fixed?
I'd say morning at the earliest.
What am I supposed to do until then?
You can stay in Mosby for the night. We'll refund your ticket.
This is a defining chapter. I don't doubt that luck's a factor. I'm not surprised this isn't breezy. When is the quest ever easy? The road may be long, but I'm gonna find you. My past made me strong. I follow behind you 'cause I'm ready to know my origin story. I've had it sometimes, but I can be patient. Add strength to the spine, still hopeful adjacent. Just a detour on the road to my glory. This is my story.
Mabel Troxford enters, her arms full of bags. She drops them on the ground. Leigh immediately goes to help. They reach for the same apple.
Thank you, young lady. Oh, the morning I've had.
You're telling me.
For the first time, Mabel looks Leigh in the eyes.
That mark under your eye. What's your name?
Leigh.
Nice to meet you, Leigh. I'm Mabel Troxford. How old are you?
I'm 18.
You and your family stay around here?
No, I grew up in a group home in New York.
So what you doing in Mosby?
Well, I was on my way to New Orleans, and then my bus broke down. Just now, actually.
Leigh from New York? I believe that God wanted me to be here right now to meet you. I think that he wanted your bus to break down. I think he wanted me to drop my bags. Everything happens for a reason. Every book is written. Can I tell you a story?
Well, seeing as I have nowhere to go and nothing to do, yes, I'd love a story.
And this one's true.
Mabel gestures to the bench. They sit.
So it starts right here in Mosby with the Cartwright family. The father, Richard, he was our mayor. He's married to my best friend, Pearl. The son is older, Sawyer, and their daughter, this adorable 3-year-old little girl with freckles and the cutest smile you've ever seen. Her name was Sophia.
Was?
15 years ago, she went missing at the county fair. Years and years of searching to no avail. It was a tragedy. But Pearl never stopped believing Sophia was still out there somewhere. That one day, God, by some divine miracle, will send her home.
Wait, was that the end of the story?
We thought it was, child. We sure did. I think this whole town had closed the book and put it back on the shelf. We had all lost hope.
I'm sorry, I don't think I understand.
You're the same age Sophia would be now. You look just like her. The birthmark on your eye. How'd you get in foster care?
Well, I was left at a fire station when I was 3. My mother...
Sophia went missing when she was 3.
Coincidence.
There are no coincidences, child. Come with me to the Cartwrights with me. Just meet them.
What? Mabel, ma'am, I'm so sorry, but I am already so off schedule from where I'm supposed to be.
Well, do you have a place to stay here until you take the next Greyhound in the morning?
No, I just figured I'd get a motel.
You like sleeping with roaches, little girl?
Is that a trick question?
They're a real nice family. I'm sure they'll insist you stay. At least till you have somewhere to go.
All right, I'll meet them. But that's it.
That's all the commitment I need. Child, something tells me deep inside this moment is going to change everything. I can feel the earth bracing itself. Just wait till you meet Pearl. She's the best person I know. No one else could go through what she did and come out smiling on the other side.
Scene 2. The Cartwright home, kitchen. Pearl appears. She is baking.
Every morning I wake up at 7. I make Richard his coffee, 3 sugars and 2 creams, and then I daydream about what it would be like if I had chosen to live a life where I am more than just a wife. I'd fly, but then I brush that aside, 'cause the Cartwrights can make it through anything. Family's what makes them whole. Their spirits are unbreakable. The Cartwrights can make it through anything. They lost a little girl, you know, that didn't stop their smiling though. Pearl and Richard star in a show and reap what they sow.
Heading to the lake, Pearl.
Sawyer's coming home tomorrow night.
With Diane.
No, she'll be a week behind. Oh, our son is getting married.
I guess this means we're getting old.
We're running out of time. You know, I was thinking about applying for that job at the elementary school.
I'm just now getting comfortable with things at the shop. I like knowing you're keeping your eye on things around here, coming home to your cooking.
I know, but Richard...
Pearl, I've said my piece, and no amount of "but Richards" is going to change that. Change wouldn't be a welcome friend.
Okay.
Salmon for dinner. I'll be back tonight.
He kisses her on the forehead and exits quickly.
The Cartwrights can make it through anything. No more tears, just smile and bake. Even if the joy is fake, the Cartwrights can make it through anything. If I could, I'd run away. But what would all the neighbors say?
Pearl, how you doing?
I'm living, breathing. Can't really complain now, can I?
So is wedding fast approaching?
Oh, children. One moment they're clutching your apron for supper, and the next they're bringing a girl to the table.
Ain't that the truth? Pearl, I brought someone here that I think you should meet. I was on my way home from town when I ran into Leigh. We got to talking, and I learned that Leigh was left at a fire station in New York when she was 3, and now she's 18. Grew up in foster care. Her bus broke down in Mosby this morning by coincidence, she says.
Oh, every book is written. She looks just like her, Mabel.
And under the eye.
Pearl moves closer to Leigh and examines her eye.
Sophia's birthmark. Oh, thank you, Jesus!
Hallelujah!
Ma'am. I am so sorry about your daughter, and I really hope she comes back one day, but I'm not her. Mabel, I'll just get a motel and grab a bus in the morning.
Something's been missing your whole life. Like there's something that you didn't know about yourself, but you just can't put the pieces together. Am I right?
Yes.
Well, maybe Mosby's that piece. You can stay here and we can see what we can dig up. Worst case scenario, you go back on the road and you know for sure. Best case, you found your way back home.
What you got to lose, Leigh?
Dear Mom, my bus broke down in a small town of Arkansas called Mosby. There's a woman here who thinks I'm her lost little girl, Sophia. She looks at me exactly how I imagined you would, so how am I supposed to tell her the truth? You know, Sophia had a birthmark under her eye. I have the same mark, but mine's a scar. Crazy how one person's life can be someone else's tragedy. Pearl said that when Sophia was born, that she became her life. Was I your tragedy? Leigh.
Scene 3. Ed's Market and Hardware Store. Leigh works behind the counter. Ed, the owner, stands nearby.
Ed, I can't thank you enough for this job.
Anything for Pearl. Just trying to make you feel at home.
Harley enters in a flurry.
Sorry, I'm late. Who's this?
I'm Leigh.
Oh, Harley Lynn Williams. So, you're the new subject of Mosby gossip.
You sound disappointed.
Lee's gonna be working the counter with you, Harley. Get to know each other. I need to fix the radiator.
Ed exits.
So, you're Sophia?
What?
The little girl that went missing. That was you. Or, that's what everyone's saying.
I guess.
I don't know the whole deal. I moved here a couple years ago to be with my dad. He's the mayor. Where are you from?
New York.
What brought you to Mosby?
You know, I don't usually do exposition. It gets a little complicated.
I love complicated.
Harley exits as Richard enters, breaking the tension.
Leigh, how's your first day on the job?
You'll be my first customer.
It's an honor. I'll have sweet tea and some beef jerky.
Pearl already gave me the rundown. Your cholesterol?
That woman?
So a bottle of water and turkey jerky.
Mm-hmm. I'll see you back at the house then. Oh, Leigh.
Yeah.
I'm very glad you're here.
Me too.
Leigh exits. Richard exits the store, and we follow him on his walk back home.
Playing with your Barbies, sitting in the rocking chair, giggling and gurgling and making us happy by just being there. Sleeping with a warm smile painted across your face, Sophia, my beloved, living proof that there's amazing grace. When I lost you, I also lost my mind. I hated the man in the mirror so much that I left him behind. My heart broke, its shards pricked the finger of love. I mourned you alone. Pearl believed Sophia, her beloved, would someday find her way back home. And here you are, like a shooting star. You flash back into our world again. Maybe now we'll reverse somehow. It's my second chance to make amends. 'Cause I've become somebody colder, turning bitter, growing older, harping on the things you've lost. I find comes at a higher cost. And Sophia comes home, but her father is gone. As I'm looking at you, just sitting in your chair, a part of me still does not believe that you're really there. My heart skips a beat, love, when I see your face. Sophia, my beloved. Sophia, her beloved. Sophia, our beloved. Live in proof that there's amazing
Scene 4. The Cartwright home, dining room. The Cartwrights, including Sawyer and Leigh, are sitting at the dinner table. They've just finished eating.
So, Leigh, my parents have told me that you got a job at Ed's. That's like a Mosby kid rite of passage around here. How you like it?
Ed is literally the best ever. It's easy. Unlimited beef jerky is a plus.
Low blow.
Oh, Ed's is definitely not the place you want to go if you want a show.
Well, that's not entirely true. Today, I was taking out the garbage in the back dumpster, and I saw this couple getting very cozy in the car across the street. Like, full on going at it with the window down and everything. And so, of course, I'm mortified because I'm literally looking like trash and holding it. And then I make eye contact with the girl.
No.
Yes. And so they panic and they roll up the window, and I just toss the trash and go back to work. It was so weird.
Oh, man.
What? Why? What's the matter?
Diane's flight just got delayed. So she'll be here tomorrow around 8.
Oh, well, that's swell. She can still make it to her fitting with Mabel at noon. Leigh, you want to come?
Yeah, I'll come right after work.
Well, you'll love Diane. She is such a sweetheart. Sawyer, we were actually hoping maybe she could look into Leigh's records. I guess we just don't know where to start.
I'll speak with her about it.
Thank you.
Are you nervous for the ceremony?
You said it yourself. When you know, you know. So I'm sure.
Diane will be a lovely addition to the family.
Have you two talked any more about her family coming on down to the wedding?
Oh, no, not this again, Pearl.
It just seems strange that you haven't met her parents yet is all. I mean, and that she doesn't want them at the wedding. That is strange, isn't it? I mean, can we at least acknowledge the strangeness of it all?
For the 100th time, Diane doesn't have a relationship with her family. She doesn't want them there.
And that's all well and good. But can't she at least tell you why? You deserve an explanation. She knows everything about you.
I'm marrying her because I trust her.
Yeah, you're marrying her, Sawyer. So that would be a conversation to have in the near future, wouldn't it?
Can you just trust that I know what I'm doing, Mama? For one fucking second?
Sawyer!
Sawyer exits and Richard follows.
You will have to excuse him, Leigh. Sawyer gets his temper from Richard, no doubt. Would you mind if I...
Not at all. I'll just finish eating and then go to bed.
Well, I should probably get my rest too. Diane flies in tomorrow. If you need anything.
It'll be okay, Mom. Pearl.
Night, Leigh.
Night.
Scene 5. Outside of Ed's. Leigh walks out of Ed's, turning the sign from open to closed. Peyton approaches. Leigh doesn't notice him. Ed pokes his head out the door.
Good work today, Leigh. Need a ride home?
I'm just headed to Mabel's.
All right now. I'll see you tomorrow.
See you, Ed.
Welcome home.
Do I know you?
Yeah, it's me. Peyton? Peyton Troxford? Mabel's son. Come on, Sophia, it's me.
My name is Leigh.
Right, sorry. Leigh. You really don't remember me then?
I'm sorry.
It's alright. You know, when I heard that Sophia came back, I couldn't... You know, we were just best friends as kids, you know.
People just think I look like her.
And you were abandoned at a fire station around the same time Sophia went missing. You got her birthmark.
How do you know all that?
People talk. Everybody knows that.
Well, all I know is that Sophia went missing at some fair.
Not some fair. Mosby County Fair. It's a huge deal around here, matter of fact.
What happened?
Well, it was at the end of the day. Everybody goes to this clearing across from the lake, and you bring blankets, you sit on the grass, and watch a fireworks show. It's a stunner. I think Pearl was asking if Sophia was cold. She had your jacket, and when she didn't respond, Pearl turned and looked, and she was gone. And from that day on, and for a year, searches, interviews, investigations, the whole 9 yards. Second year of searching, everybody had hope.
And then?
Sophia was lost. Pearl stopped smiling, stopped making jam. Richard resigned as mayor, but...
And everyone just gave up hope?
I didn't.
Look, I just don't want to get everyone's hopes up. I don't even know how I ended up in this town.
Destiny.
What?
Destiny. Fate. Call it what you want, but... Town's buzzing again. Pearl's smiling. Things are changing around here, and it's all because of you.
The moment that I saw your face, I recognized the girl I played with, crystal clear as soon as I looked at you. Somehow I knew, and when I look in your eyes, I identify a girl that I know, or that I knew a long time ago. I'd say I'm a religious man. I believe that the big guy has a plan. Everything that happens, happens for a reason. Everyone has their season. I think this one's Sophia's. Plus, life's known to lead us back home, no matter how long you've been gone. Plus, what are the odds that your bus just crashed here? A coincidence doesn't stand much chance here. This was meant to be. It's what they call destiny. Open your eyes and you'll see. You don't decide your fate if you receive it. Destiny is never deceiving. Just go for the ride. You'll find that's easier than not believing. When fate decides to throw a curve, just swing the bat, just fake the nerve. If you strike out, at least you swung. This metaphor's confusing. What was I saying?
Play along?
Right, exactly.
I got it. I should go.
Will I see you around?
If you want to.
Then I will.
Bye.
Hi. Sophia.
Looks like fate decided to send you home. You're kinda different now, I kinda like it. Just so you know, I never gave up on you. Somehow I knew.
Scene 6. Mabel's seam shop. Pearl and Mabel sit outside a dressing room. Leigh enters, rushed.
Well, look who decided to show up.
I finally met Peyton.
Sophia and Peyton were best friends. And between you and me, I think he had a little crush on her.
Good to know.
Diane walks out of the dressing room in a gorgeous wedding dress.
Oh, Diane, this is Leigh. Leigh, Diane.
Nice to meet you, Leigh.
You too.
The dress looks gorgeous on you. How does it fit?
Perfectly. Oh, it's really beautiful, Mabel.
Thank you. Pearl, can you come point out what veil you wore with it?
Oh, if I can remember. Girls, chat. Get to know each other. We'll be right back.
Sawyer said you flew in this morning?
Yeah, my flight was delayed, so I ended up staying another night in the city.
Weird.
Why is that weird?
Just because I saw you and another guy in a car last night outside of Ed's. Pearl and Richard said you were a passionate woman. I can see that.
I don't know what you're talking about. That wasn't me. What are you doing?
Me and some of my sisters from the group home, we have a group chat. It's called the group home group chat. Anyways, we usually use it to send each other funny little moments that we wish we were there to spend together. But when I saw that passion in the Chrysler across the street, I just knew it was one of those moments. So I took a picture.
Please delete that.
Okay.
Okay, but what?
Pearl and Richard are going to ask you to help dig into my records. I was left at a fire station when I was 15 years ago, with a note from my mother.
So there's no chance you're Sophia? Why are you here?
The same reason you are. To have a family.
You don't know anything about me.
And you don't know anything about me, so I suggest you tread lightly.
Fine. I'll help you. Please, just delete that picture.
All right. This veil is older than you, but it's just as pretty as the day Pearl wore it.
What do you think?
It's like looking into a time machine.
Oh, it's absolutely stunning. Leigh?
Sawyer will have no idea who's walking down the aisle.
Scene 7. Outside of Ed's. Leigh sits at the bench writing in her journal.
Dear Mom, I may or may not be getting too carried away. Every second I spend in Mosby feels a little bit more like home. Every time Pearl calls my name, it feels more familiar. Lord knows why. Although, I don't ever think I actually believed in God. I mean, the idea of some man up in the sky having executive order over everything just feels a little cliche. But there's got to be an explanation for the coincidences of life, right? I mean, my bus breaking down, the dates, the mark, seeing Diane in the car. Or maybe I'm just some monster who can't believe she doesn't belong. What do you think? You know, people around here, they always say every book is written. What a fucked up author.
Harley enters, seeing Leigh on the street. Leigh quickly closes her journal and exits.
This is a strange town, that I have to admit. A tiny puzzle, so it's obvious if you don't fit. Freshman year, it was clear that was me. Anyone could see. Mayor's daughter, city girl, no longer. I'm a real fast talker, 'cause my life's been harder than most. So I never coast and don't let you close unless you're very charming. No, I don't want your sympathy. Pathetically begging, sit with me. That's not my style. I know it isn't personal. That doesn't stop my yearning, though, to be unseen. But this town's like one of these things is not like the other. What kind of kid runs away from her mother? Kinda seems like a bitch undercover. What's under her pretty mask? What's funny, though, is that I'm never hiding. Just don't fake a smile or try to act inviting. I like my space, so ma'am, get out my face. Keep walking. Leigh's a strange girl, that I have to admit. There's a secret in those eyes along with ounces of wit. Now she's here and it's clear that she schemes, yet nobody can see but me. Mayor's daughter, city girl, no longer. She's a real fast talker and her life's been harder than most. Claiming she's the ghost of a girl named Sophia. And we all believe her. But don't you find it kind of strange that she's so quick to change her name? Who was she before? And I believe in miracles, but more so in the principle of being sure. And I don't know, but one of these things is not like the other. Doesn't seem to connect with her brother. What is it that she needs here, I wonder? What's under her pretty mask? There's something that she is hiding. I don't buy the smile, no matter how enticing. Seems Sophia's an idea of a certain freedom. No more grieving by believing that this Leigh is who they've all been waiting for. But the danger of this stranger is the blindness of the neighbor who just trusts in faith. Harley, stay in your lane and just keep walking.
Scene 8. Ed's Market and Hardware Store. Harley sits at the register while Ed washes the counter.
Hey, Ed. What do you think about Leigh?
What do you mean?
Well, don't you just find it hard to believe that this girl who went missing all that time ago grew up and magically stumbled upon Mosby one day with a different identity?
A miracle.
I guess. It's just that, shouldn't they have found her a long time ago? I mean, apparently she's just been sitting in some group home, no one claiming her. She has to be hiding something, right?
We can all have our suspicions. But until there's any evidence to back it up, that's all it is. Whatever's going on is between God and Leigh.
What about Leigh?
Oh, I was just asking Ed when you were going to be here to take over. It's my anniversary.
Big plans?
Yeah, actually, we're having a picnic on the fairgrounds to celebrate.
How romantic.
Peyton enters with a basket in his hand.
And speaking of adorable, Leigh, this is my boyfriend, Peyton.
Peyton!
Harley, you didn't tell me you work with Leigh.
I didn't know you knew her.
Of course I know Leigh. I got a job here at Ed's once upon a time. How do you like it so far?
It's easy. I like it.
Glad to hear it. I will take a bottle of your best sparkling cider.
Grape or apple?
Surprise me.
Oh, don't worry about it.
You don't have to do that.
Happy anniversary.
Oh my God, Leigh, that is so nice of you. You really didn't have to do that. Peyton, why don't you go wait out in the car? I'll be out in a sec.
Okay. See you at the wedding, Leigh.
Peyton exits.
What was that about?
What was what about?
The flirting with my boyfriend?
I didn't know he was your boyfriend before.
Oh, so you were flirting with him before, too.
I didn't know he had a girlfriend. But funny, he did.
Welcome home, I guess. I'm glad your family found you. Although I can't say I'm glad Peyton found you too. Say la vie, welcome home, no less. Let all the love surround you, but please don't overstep. Not room enough for two in this scene. Now I can be nice. I pair some sugar with the spice, usually, but you're right on the line. And I know he has dreamy eyes, but let me offer some advice. Stay in your lane, don't cross to my side. Fire and rain don't tend to collide. We are the same, and you're drifting my way. Stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. Peyton is taken. I don't play games. Don't be mistaken. Not too fond of being fake, and Harley doesn't play with snakes. Leigh, you need to get it through your brain. Stay in your lane. I think you're confused. I'm driving in a straight line. Sweetheart, it's not my fault if Peyton wants a ride. I'm sorry. Do I look afraid? Not gonna cower to you. A Mosby pig will fly before I give the power to you. So I don't need you to be nice. You can keep both of your sugar and your spice. What? I'll dance while I'm on the line. You're right, he does have dreamy eyes, but mostly he looks into mine. So stay in your lane. If you want respect, then you give the same. Don't come incorrect, or you'll rue the day you made that mistake. You stay in your lane. I'll admit you have some nerve, but I'm not impressed. Watch your step and watch your words, or you'll wind up with regrets. Stay in your lane. I can be cordial. Stay in your lane, 'cause my side is colder. Don't get in my way. Just ride past and wave and stay in your lane.
Scene 9. The Cartwright home, dining room. Richard, Pearl, Sawyer, Diane, and Leigh all sit at the dinner table around a cake, drinking.
I'd like to raise a glass to Ms. Johnson.
Soon to be Mrs. Cartwright.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I just can't wait till it's official.
And in making the spirit of things official, I spoke to Dr. Damon today, and he agreed to perform a DNA test pro bono. Cheers.
What?
What? Well, seeing as how Diane already looked into Leigh's records and everything checked out, I don't think that's needed, Sawyer.
It's just a way to know for sure. Couldn't hurt.
Unless you object, Leigh.
No.
Great. It's the Friday after next. Diane and I will already be gone for the honeymoon, but I just figured it would give you guys some time to recover from the wedding.
Sounds fine to me. Pearl?
Oh, may I be excused?
Pearl exits.
What's the matter, Mom?
Leigh follows.
Well, sorry about that. I don't know what's wrong with her. Good night, you two.
You too, Mr. Cartwright.
Night, Pa.
Richard exits.
I don't know why she's so upset.
Your mother has her daughter back, Sawyer. You have your sister back. This is a good thing. You should be happy. Why do you insist on proving otherwise?
I just want to be sure. Is that so wrong, Di? To want to know for sure that this girl I met 2 seconds ago is my sister who's been missing for 15 years? They're getting carried away. I mean, Mama gave Leigh Sophia's necklace. Like she's just decided that it's true already.
It's a miracle.
I went to Sunday school every week like the good little Mosby boy I was raised to be. I listened to the stories and the sermons, David and Goliath. Miracles are definitely possible, but miracle and mistake are just 3 letters apart, Diane. That's a large margin for error, wouldn't you say? And I'm sure if you look at those 2 words without glasses on and with your eyes squinted, they're almost the same. Meeting you was a miracle for sure. And I don't ever doubt that. But Leigh's a different story. I'm just not quite sold yet. So I don't need your judgment.
When have I ever judged you?
Reference this entire conversation.
You asked why Pearl was upset, so I told you. You're not acting like yourself, Sawyer. Ever since Leigh arrived, you've been distant. It's scaring me.
Let me guess. Now with this wedding arriving, you're wondering if I'm a miracle or a mistake. You're unsure.
I'm not sure what's going on inside of your mind, and I'm not entirely sure why you can't seem to leave doubt behind. And I'm not sure if being a good wife is something I'm able to do, but I'm sure about you. I'm not sure if I'm being bridezilla or far too vanilla and passive. I never imagined all white on some villa. My motto is modest, not massive. And I'm not sure when marriage became more about the event than the two, but I'm sure that I'm sure about you. People search their whole lives, wishing on stars, hoping to find what we stumbled upon, what we ran into. We're part of the lucky few. When you say I'm a miracle, I'm not sure if I believe that it's true. But regardless, I'm sure about you. Some people never know what love really feels like. They don't even have a clue. But I do.
Scene 10. The wedding reception. Everyone is drinking champagne, sharing toasts.
I was walking through Yale University's campus 2 years ago with my head full of formulas and my arms full of textbooks. Diane and I would often debate, who bumped into whom that day. But the fact that goes unchallenged is the electricity that was felt. Being a mathematician, I'm constantly striving for the correct answer. My entire life, I felt like I never quite got it right. But Diane, making you my wife is the solution I've been looking for this whole time. You're my miracle. I love you. To many years of happiness. Cheers.
Cheers. Oh. I told myself I wouldn't get emotional. I also told myself I wouldn't eat as many finger foods, but here I am with tear tracks and indigestion. I'll keep it brief. My husband Walter passed away last year, and up until that last day, even after 29 years, our love remained new. Diane and Sawyer, I wish you just that. A timeless love. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Pearl and I didn't get the normal child. We got a bouncing baby boy who could count to 100 when he was 4, and whose favorite childhood activity was calculating sales tax. If I had a penny for every time I've said this, I'd be the richest man alive. And maybe I am. I am so proud of you, Sawyer. Congratulations to you and your lovely bride. Cheers.
Cheers.
Now, in the last week, we made another addition to the Cartwright family. As you are all aware, 15 years ago, Sawyer's baby sister went missing. Well, what was lost has now been found. We are so thankful and so blessed, and I only thought it was right for Leigh to say a few words.
I'd like to raise a glass to a forgotten past, to the dreams that were delayed, to the new ones that you've made, to a town that, though small, somehow stands just as tall as the Empire State. Raise a glass to today, to the love that you found, to the seed in the ground that will grow. Here's a toast. Raise a glass. May your days be full of laughter and knowledge and answers to the questions inside you, and may life always guide you back home. May you find your way home, and may you let go of all the things you can't control. Have the freedom to roam, but remember your home, even after you've grown. And I won't pretend that I know. I can't convince you I care, but I'll show you by raising my glass, by wishing you laughs. I give you my love. All this just to say that I hope that this day is one you won't forget. I hope that you are left with the feeling within, saying life now begins. Your little sister is proud.
Dear Mom, I'm drunk, not on this cheap champagne. For the first time, I feel in control. The power is electrifying and I'm an instant addict. Everyone is looking at me. Everyone needs me. Pearl needs me. Is this what it feels like to mean something?
Raise
the glass.
Cheers.
End of Act 1. Act 2.
Dear Mom, in the 6th grade, we had to read Macbeth. Mind you, Shakespeare's the worst, and he either makes up words or tells dick jokes. He reminds me of the guys from my high school in that way. But anyways, so Macbeth is about this guy who wants to be king so bad that he goes around killing everyone, even the children, just to get what he wants. I obviously won't go that far, but I'm starting to see where he was coming from. I'm in too deep. A part of me feels like the shittiest person ever for lying to them, but a bigger part thinks, wouldn't everyone just be happier if they got what they wanted? They get a metaphorical drywall over the hole in their hearts, and I get a home. And who am I kidding? I have $5,000 to my name, and I would blow that in a couple months trying to find you with nothing except an old beat-up letter. No. I'm better off taking that $5,000 and putting it in the hands of Dr. Damon. To lie and say that I'm Sophia. To secure my throne.
My whole life I've wondered who I'm meant to be. I got on the road to try and find the answer. Now I wonder if this town was sent to me as some sick alternate happy ever after. An orphan seeking validation who's always had a fascination with the concept of having a home. Now I struggle with my pride. It's greener on the other side, 'cause I feel like a stranger. This is a defining chapter, not even sure what I am after. If this journey ends in a disaster, was it all worth it? Each lie is like a pound that finds its way back to my chest. Is this a test or just a mess that I can't get out of?
Scene 11. Mabel's seam shop. Harley stands in front of a mirror getting alterations from Mabel. Peyton stands nearby handing her pins.
Ow!
I told you stop moving. These hands ain't as steady as they used to be.
You need me to help, Mama?
You just keep those skinny little fingers to yourself. Pin?
You don't think this is a bit much, Mabel?
Not with a man's daughter, it ain't. Your daddy was very clear about what he wanted.
Sometimes I think my dad wants to dress me up in the finest silks to show everyone how much money he has.
Oh, don't be ridiculous. This is polyester. Besides, you should want to be as presentable as possible. You two set the stand around here, and you'll be the talk of the fair in this number.
People will be too busy obsessing over Leigh to notice.
The town just can't believe Sophia's back is all.
And I understand that, because I don't believe it either.
Well, they're gonna have a test done soon, so we'll all know for sure then.
See, Mabel, even Peyton's obsessing.
Insecure.
What was that?
Huh? Oh, I was just saying, this ain't as secure as it should be. Peyton?
You know, why does she bother you so much? Leigh is super nice.
I've known girls like Leigh my whole life. I've watched her change faces in real time. She's good at making you think whatever she wants you to think. I can tell she wants me to hate her.
So I give her what she wants.
Yeah, I mean, it makes a lot of sense y'all don't get along, you know.
And how's that?
Well, I think in some ways you ended up taking on the roles that Sophia would have had, you know, the enigmatic factor thing, the mayor's daughter thing, you know.
And what else?
No, I think that's all.
Good answer. Mabel, what do you think will happen if the test comes back negative? Think you're gonna feel guilty?
Why would I?
Well, I mean, the whole reason this town has any hope that Sophia's back is because you ran into Leigh that day. In a way, you started all this.
God started this child. I was simply his bloated vessel. Besides, regardless of the result, Leigh has been a good thing for Mosby. Whenever something is good and as pure as Sophia becomes lost, it just shows how fragile life is, how brutal. If Sophia really did come back to Pearl, maybe there's some hope for the rest of us.
I guess if you want to see it that way.
I don't often use lining, but when I do, I try to make it silver. You should try it sometime. I find that life is a little less treacherous. And you smile more. And you love your beautiful dress.
I really do love it, Mabel. It's beautiful. They always are.
Oh, thank you.
I lost track of time. I really gotta go.
Need to go where? You're supposed to help me cut out tablecloths.
Right. Well, yeah, exactly. Which is why I was gonna go to the fairgrounds and measure the tables. I forgot to, you know.
So what you been doing the last 2 times you were there? Rolling around in the grass? What are you good for?
Sweet kisses. Love you, Mama. I gotta go.
He darts out of the shop.
Love you too.
Scene 12, Fairgrounds. Peyton runs in, joining Leigh, who is seated on the grass waiting.
Hey, Leigh. Sorry I'm late.
Hi. It's okay.
Oh,
You know, I can't keep running off during my lunch break to be with you. Harley's gonna catch us one day.
we're just talking. And I would tell her that we hang out, but never mind.
No? You would tell her, but what?
I don't think she likes you very much.
Really?
Think you're being sarcastic? You know, she wasn't always like that, you know. A few years ago, her mom died after she moved here to be with her dad. I guess she was just different, but she's changed. Tragedy changes people. Can I ask you something?
Yeah, of course.
When the test comes back, and you know for sure, are you gonna start going by Sophia?
I don't know. It just feels like the moment I take on the name, everything I was before is gone.
Well, isn't that what you want?
I guess. But then it's like my whole life is up to now is just some big misunderstanding.
As opposed to?
Triumph, I guess. The story would be of the orphan girl who had a hard past, grew up to be some lost little girl, and then instead it's just a story of some lost little girl, just not as glorious, you know.
I think both stories have a happy ending.
Harley.
Harley. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
She's not my favorite person, but...
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right.
Look, I believe she used to be different. Tragedy can change people. Mosby taught me that. But I also learned that if you spend your whole life looking for something you lost, you'll end up wondering what else you could find. I should go.
Will I see you around?
If you want to.
Then I will.
Bye.
Scene 13, Ed's Market and Hardware Store. Leigh enters.
Hey, Leigh. Here, have a cookie. peanut butter chocolate chunk. How was your break?
It was good. Just went and talked with Peyton. Oh my god, Ed, these cookies are amazing. Famous recipe?
I guess you could say that. I remember the day I found the recipe, probably around this time 15 years ago. I was so proud. Had them sitting at the register just like they are now. I asked Pearl if Sophia could have one, and she said she couldn't because she was very allergic to peanuts. She even asked me to move the plate because it was that dangerous. So, I'm wondering, are you feeling anything? Do you need me to call an ambulance?
You were willing to give me an allergic reaction just to...
Have a cookie, their peanut butter chocolate chunk. That's what I said. If you were her, even if you didn't know it, you'd still have the same allergy and you wouldn't have eaten it. But you did. And you're standing here, so I'm asking, how do you feel?
People grow out of allergies all the time.
People also lie, Leigh. That's a lot more common. When I was clearing up around the register, I found a piece of paper from Mr. Damon's address written on it. Let me guess, you were working up some plan to convince him to lie about that test? How long have you known?
I don't know what you're talking about.
How long have you known, Leigh? Enough lying.
Since the beginning.
So why'd you go along with it? 'Cause you needed someplace to stay?
My bus broke down here. I wasn't even supposed to be here. I was on my way to New Orleans. What was I supposed to do?
Take a deep breath and decide to be a decent person. Poor Pearl, she thinks she's found her little girl, but really she's been conned by some quick-witted orphan who's making a mockery of her trust. But I feel even worse for you, Leigh. Really, because you have to live with the fact that those people love Sophia. They don't love you. I won't say nothing. I'm gonna be the one to break Pearl's heart. I will, however, ask you to get the hell out of my store. And don't you ever come back.
Leigh storms out.
What do you do when everything you thought you knew turns out to be conjurings of wit and grit and lies? And where do you go when now you know something so cruel that eats your skin, haunts from within into your mind? This girl is here making a fool of poor souls who don't have a clue that they are dancing in a masquerade. And what about the missing girl, still out there lost in this sick world? Arm yourself with Jesus, child, for sure, because the devil's at your door. Out, cast them out. Don't be quiet, scream and shout. Let them know that you're devout. Erase your fears and vanquish doubt. Out, shut him out. If he keeps knocking, knock him down. Spirits are lurking around. They're not heaven bound. Something breaks and shakes you to your core when the devil's at your door. Well, out, cast him out. Don't be quiet, scream and shout. Let him know that you're devout. Erase your fears and vanquish doubt. Out, shut him out. If he keeps knocking, Leigh, you'll just began a brutal war with the devil at your door.
Scene 14. The Cartwright kitchen. Pearl is preparing dinner. Richard enters.
Evening, sweetheart.
Good evening. Would you pass me that bag of potatoes?
You'll never believe who came into the shop tonight.
Who?
Mayor Williams. Came in with his flashy yellow Mustang, panicking because his service light was on. City boy don't even know how to change his own oil.
Well, he's a busy man.
Maybe he just wanted the satisfaction of me working on his car.
I'm sure he just needed an oil change.
Why is it you think you know so much about Howard Williams?
I suppose I could ask you the same question. The potatoes?
What is the matter with you?
I'm not happy, Richard.
What do you mean? Not happy about what?
I am not happy sitting around here all day like a salt shaker figurine. I want to go back to work. Oh, I want my life back. I shouldn't have ever quit in the first place.
We made sacrifices for our family.
Yeah, and how did that work out? Oh, when Sophia went missing, I should have traveled the country myself. I should have rented a car and gone state to state until I found her, asking questions, doing my own research. But instead, I stayed here and I baked. While she was out there waiting for me, I made pies. Well, I really hope they were delicious, Richard.
You never said you felt that way.
Because every time I tried to bring it up, you brushed me aside. That's what you always do when things start getting rough. Oh, you were the mayor of Mosby, Richard. And no matter how much you want to hate Howard Williams, he just picked up what you threw away.
So what are you saying, Pearl? What would you like me to do about the past? What exactly is it that you want?
I want you to pass me the potatoes and get the table set, because dinner is soon.
I can't play this part any longer. I used to be so much stronger. I let you get in my head. Now I'm finally fed up, Richard. Years ago, you and I lost a daughter. But then you took that farther, and I lost you as well. A decade in hell, and sure, the Cartwrights can make it through anything. But can is not the same as should. I'd take it all back if I could, 'cause the Cartwrights don't make it through anything. They only learn to play the roles. Of course, the faking takes its toll. You let the anger take you, so now I've grown to hate you.
Scene 15. Outside of Dr. Damon's home.
Dear Mom, what was it like when you had me in your arms at the fire station? The moment right before you were about to make a decision that would give you a chance at a new life? Was your heart beating out of your chest? Did you feel like a shitty person, or was it liberating? Dr. Damon's house is massive. It's like something you'd see in a storybook. People like him would never have to dream about doing something like this because they wouldn't have to. He was born into the throne that Macbeth would kill for. Let's hope that $5,000 cash is enough to buy mine. Look, I never said that I had a master plan. Was there a moment that you knew for sure that leaving me was the right decision? There had to be, right? Like you just took a deep breath and told yourself it had to be done, like ripping off a Band-Aid. Or maybe you didn't think about it that much. Maybe you realized it was a mistake when you had already left, when you had gone too far. I've learned to forgive you, but I don't know if I'll be able to forgive myself. What do you do when everything you thought you were sure about comes crashing down into the ground? What do you do? You lied, you cheated, yet stand defeated, 'cause somehow getting to the goal doesn't feel as good as you hoped it would, so you're left confused. What do you do when you're conscience finally kicks in, and it feels like you're dripping with sin. What do you do? Where do you go? When you're tired of dancing in the masquerade, and you're sick of your guilt getting in the way. What do? You take off the pretty mask and show your flaws, and then just ask for forgiveness from the people who you hurt along the way. To what you wanted, what you almost had, but you knew that in the end you would be haunted by the ghost of what you wanted. My fate is hanging by a thread. I feel the weight inside my head every night when I'm in Sophia's bed. But speaking of Sophia, she could be coming home any day now. And if she does, what will I say? Hey, sorry, I really meant well, but I lost control and it felt so right. Give back her necklace and give back her life. Or take off my pretty mask and show my flaws, and then just ask for forgiveness from the people who I hurt along the way.
Scene 16, the Cartwright home. Leigh paces outside the front door, preparing herself to enter. Finally, she does. She finds Pearl seated at the dining room table.
Pearl, I need to tell you something. Oh my God. What happened?
Sawyer gets his temper from Richard, no doubt.
Richard did this? It's not the first time.
Far from it.
Where is he?
He's probably out drinking. That seems to be the best way for him to reset and come back smelling like whiskey and remorse. Oh, he kisses me all over in tears and promises that it was the last time. I never believe him. But this old house and that man and this town is all I've ever had. So I forgive him. I ice my face and I make friends with Maybelline, and I tell Mabel to mind her own business. Oh, I'm not as strong as you, Leigh.
You think I'm strong?
You're fearless. I've never met someone so sure of who they are.
That's ironic.
It's true. Your whole life, you haven't known where you're from, and yet you've always known who you are. When Mabel brought you here on that first day, I looked into your eyes and I felt hope. Reminded me of when I was young. I wanted to get on that bus. I wanted to go somewhere. After something, a dream, love. Then I met Richard.
And you settled.
I got pregnant. I convinced myself I was content. Until I met this man who was just passing through. Too young, oh, fine, and more charisma than a tipsy car salesman. Oh, this man, he looked at me like I was somebody. And after a few nights with him, I realized that before I had no idea what love was.
Did you tell him?
I was never fearless, but he knew anyway. He asked me to run away with him, and I really did think about it. But I was too scared. What would people say? How would it affect Sawyer? So I let him go and convinced myself I could forget. But then I found out I was pregnant with Sophia. Felt like some cruel joke. Years of lying to Richard. And then it felt like God lost his sense of humor and decided to punish me.
When Sophia went missing,
I vowed to never disobey him again. And I thought if I just played my role, if I just smiled and baked, then I'd be rewarded. And then you came. Oh, seeing you reminded me of everything. And I realized I would have to face my infidelity with this blood test. Something snapped. I guess I figured if I was going to hurt Richard anyway, I might as well be in control. And he hurt me right back. I'm done trying to make it make sense.
I'm not Sophia, Pearl. And a lot of the story might have been fate or God, but my mother was a teen when she had me, and she left me at a fire station with a note. And I grew up in foster care and had a really hard life, and I got this scar growing up. And I was on my way to New Orleans to find my mother, and then I was here and I met you, and it was like everything that I had ever wanted was right in front of me. And maybe I know who I am, but that doesn't mean that sometimes I don't wish I was someone else. I'm so sorry for lying to you, Pearl, and I understand if you hate me, but I just can't sit here and have you think that this was all God's punishment, because a lot of it was me.
A mother knows, Leigh. I think when you want to believe it, it just becomes much easier. I guess I just wanted the tragedy to be over. We both lost something, and I think we were trying to find it in each other. Honesty may have been the cost, but I think we were able to find that. So thank you, Leigh. Well, so tell me, you seem to be good at getting yourself out of trouble. What now?
Scene 17, outside of Harley's home. Harley returns from work to find a letter sticking out of a mail slot in the door. The letter is from Peyton. She opens it excitedly and reads.
If you don't want me, I guess I understand. Everyone loves winter, but just for a while. But when it gets too cold to play, then they wanna go inside. Looks like I was the winter in your life. Our love, it was a snowman. We built it with bare hands. My winter kept it firm and straight, kept him alive. But Leigh's the spring and she's arrived, and he's melting by and by. My winter couldn't keep our love alive. Is my snow too white? Is my air too cold? Is my ice so slick that you just slipped off the road? Or am I just not Sophia? Or should I blame the winter? Or should I blame the leaves turning turning brown and falling like I did when you loved me. Should I blame the snowflakes? Should I blame the sky? I can have anyone I want, so why do I want you? Why was I attracted? Why did I fall for it? Your eyes, they deceived me. I thought you wanted all of me. Turned out you want spring, and I tried to stop being so cold, but the heat just escapes, and I can't get a hold of the warmth that I had before everything changed. I grew numb, and I learned how to cope with the pain. Now I stand here confused, wondering where our love's gone, and I look and I see that you're singing the same song you sang to me, to Leigh, and I freeze. Are you happy or finally frozen? I'm winter. I'm winter. You said you don't want me, and I'm trying to understand how we could build a snowman then, if that's true. People rush through winter and yet cherish warm spring light. I hate that I'm the winter in your life, and I hate the spring and the birds it brings. I'd rather freeze in winter.
Scene 18. Ed's Market and Hardware Store after close. Ed sits at the counter, slightly inebriated, sipping a glass of whiskey while snacking on the plate of cookies. Richard taps on the door, startling Ed, who crosses to let him in.
Richard, do you think you're an exception to close?
Yeah, Ed, actually I do. Well, whiskey and cookies, huh? Bad night for you too?
There are some days where I just feel tired. Today is one.
Hey, I understand that one. Me and Pearl just got in a big fight.
In that case.
He reaches under the counter for another whiskey glass and pours.
What y'all argue about?
Pearl's just being a woman.
As opposed to?
Look, I was just raised to speak on things in the moment. The whole bringing things from the past up when it's convenient thing really gets under my skin. I don't know why she does it.
Because it gets under your skin.
Yeah, I guess so. Tonight I just finally snapped. She's had this attitude all over her lately, and I guess I've just had it.
When did things start feeling different?
Honestly, when Leigh got here. I guess it's that city energy. Those gals think we're living in some alternate universe where it's wrong for a woman to let a strong man lead her. Leigh's rough around the edges like that. And it's honestly something I've grown to like about her. I think it's what everybody likes about her. That strength. Hell, she probably got it from me. But on Pearl, it's just nasty. I guess this is all just so different from how I imagined it would be. You know, if Sophia came back home, I thought it would be all big, happy family, and instead it's just messy, you know?
I understand. You know, Rich, something happened today that I think I need to tell you about. The reason why I'm drinking tonight, and I'm not gonna lie to you, it ain't good news. She's not Sophia, Richard. I remembered about Sophia's peanut allergy and I caught her slipping. Got her to admit she's been lying. I've been sitting here since we closed, just talking to myself, talking to God, trying to figure out what the best thing to do is. Like the Lord decided to drop a hint by having you show up.
What? She knew? Now, why would she do this to us, Ed? I don't understand how she lied about everything. Well, what about the paperwork from Diane?
I think she was planning on meddling with the blood test. Wouldn't be surprised if she got the jump on Diane a while ago.
I knew something wasn't right with her. I mean, you would think we would know our own flesh and blood. Sawyer never believed it.
I should have said something earlier.
No. This isn't your fault, Ed. Thank you for letting me know. But if she lied about this, if she could be so heartless, who knows what she's capable of?
I'm such a fool, how could I miss something so cruel? We let the guard down, we were desperate to believe. Leigh is a monster posing as our missing daughter. Sawyer saw her, he could clock how she deceives. Polluting the home we're healing. Now we don't know what we're dealing with. This haunts me to the core. We let the devil through the door.
Out, kick her out. I'm sitting in masquerade. I held on the doubt. Lord, forgive me.
Leigh is a monster posing as our missing daughter. Sawyer saw her. He could clock how she deceives.
I'm ready to wash my hands clean. We're pulling up to the scene.
I've never seen this red before.
Scene 19, the Cartwright home. Richard runs through the door. Ed is horrified. He's never seen Richard at this level of anger.
Pearl! Leigh! We need to talk! I don't think anybody's here. Wait, my car's not out there. Pearl hasn't driven in about 10 years, Ed. Why would she start tonight?
Maybe she needed some space after y'all's fight tonight.
No, that's not like her. Something isn't right.
You don't think Leigh would hurt anybody, do you?
She already has. We don't know who she is, Ed.
Richard finds the house phone and dials.
Hello, Sheriff. Yes, it's Richard Cartwright. Look, I'm calling because I can't find Pearl, and I think she might have... She what? And when was that? No, that's fine. Fine. Thank you for letting me know. Yeah, you too.
Gee, something, Rich. Is Pearl okay?
Segue. Leigh and Pearl in the car on the freeway. Pearl is driving, and there are several bags in the back seat.
How do you feel?
You know, I was feeling a bit nervous. I ain't been behind the wheel in over 10 years.
Well, do you want to switch?
No, it feels nice. Just seeing the road and the darkness. A lot of room for thinking.
Well, New Orleans is about 7 hours away, so we got a lot of time.
You know, I think June would be proud of me.
Who's June?
Sophia's father. You know, he always said he wanted me to leave, even if it wasn't with him. I think he'd be proud to know that I did.
I'm proud. And who knows, depending on how much we like this road trip, maybe we find you next?
Oh, I don't know. That was so long ago. Oh, and I don't look anything like I did back then. Oh, he might be married. He might be...
Listen, if he thought you were gorgeous then, his jaw would drop now.
Please.
Seriously. I mean, look at you. You've been through hell and back, and you still got on the road and left.
And I couldn't have done that without you. I just don't ever want to look back.
Me neither. We can help each other forget. Might take some time, but we've got time to practice. And you always say every book is written. I think it's time you pick up the pen.
This is a defining chapter.
A fresh start.
The past doesn't matter.
A second chance at some kind of ever after.
I needed to find you. travel is a pound that's lifted off our chest, and Mosby was never home. This journey almost feels predestined. Fate is a friend I know, I trust and I won't second guess it. Full speed ahead. The road may be long, but I'm gonna find you. My past made me strong, I follow behind you. I'm ready to know my origin story. It might take some time, but I can be patient.
So many years wasted being complacent.
I'm ready to know, so ready, set, go.
Dear Mom, I'm once again on the road to find you. Who knew that when my bus broke down in Mosby, that it wasn't a detour, but another destination? I needed Pearl. She needed me. That faulty engine is the only reason we met. And the only reason that I was on that bus was because you left me at that fire station. I've always known I'd have a million words for you when we do meet, but I never thought that two of them would be thank you. Leigh.
I'm ready to know, so ready, set, go.
Wow. That was so exciting.
It was thrilling. I hope everyone enjoyed that as much as we enjoyed watching it just now and creating it initially. You know, Joriah, it was such an honor to work with you as a collaborator, as a colleague, and also as an actor, you know, bringing your words to life. It really was thrilling, and I look forward to a lot more of this in the future.
Creating art is not easy, and we could use your help.
This pandemic has hit the arts industry really hard, and so once again, if you are able to, please consider making a donation to support events like this, artists like us, by going to farmersalleytheater.online/give or texting the word give to 269-230-0001. We would greatly appreciate it.
Follow me at Joriah Kwamé on all social media.
And please follow at Farmers Alley Theater on the socials, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We would really appreciate it, and you can keep in touch with us and learn about more events just like this one. So once again, thank you for joining us, and as a reminder, in the spirit of art and theater, which is always collaborative, let's remember, we gotta work together to make the world a better place. Good night, everybody.
Good night, guys.